And welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Joe White here. And, kill that music here. And I wanted to give you guys a brief history. There's a lot of videos out there that are doing it, but none in a timeline sort of way. A brief history of the CM Punk timeline, as it were, that got us to this point that we are in with AEW. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about the Punk situation and how a little bit about how this whole thing has gone down. We're going to rewind the clocks back. We're going to rewind the clocks back. We're going to take you through it all and let you know what led us to this point. Here we go. So before we begin here, I just want to state that I am not perfect. There may be some dates in here, some exact dates that I've screwed up. But if we're gonna relax here, sit back and relax, and listen to this, then let's go back to the beginning. Some relaxing music as we go through this timeline of weird and wild events. Going back for the CM Punk timeline. I hope this doesn't... Here we go. Mozart. A little bit of Mozart here. Let's just keep calm as we go through this timeline here. We go all the way to January 2014. Almost 9 years ago. CM Punk quits WWE. He walks out right after the Royal Rumble, does not go to Cleveland, Ohio. By the way, I've left the UFC stuff out of this because it's really irrelevant. So if anybody's like, hey, he went to UFC, it doesn't matter. I don't care. So January 2014. CM Punk quits WWE. Between January 2014 and November 2014, so in that 10-month period, CM Punk sues WWE as well as 2K Sports, which is the video game company that makes WWE video games at the time. And he wins. Gets an undisclosed amount of money. Gets his release from the company. No, he does not have a non-compete. That brings us to November 2014. The Art of Wrestling podcast happens. It gets released Thanksgiving week. And CM Punk tells his side of the story, along with Colt Cabana. It gets released in 2 parts. Thanksgiving week and then the week after. Fast forward to June of 2018. Dr. Chris Amon sues Colt Cabana and CM Punk for defamation of character. Punk and Cabana win the lawsuit. August 9th, 2018, Adam Wills of Bleacher Report writes an article claiming that Colt Cabana is suing CM Punk over unpaid legal fees. This marks the end of their friendship. CM Punk says it happened long before that, but this is kind of like the defining moment. When you sue somebody, you're not exactly friends with them anymore. September 30th, 2018, Tyler Conway of Bleacher Report writes an article about the end of the lawsuit. And talks about how it was settled and there's an undisclosed amount of money there. And here's what Punk had to say there in this article. We'll give you I'm not going to read the whole thing. But CM Punk talked to, he tweeted out. This is from this article. CM Punk tweeted several times Monday recently about the settled lawsuit filed by Colt Cabana, calling his former best friend greedy and saying Cabana tried to extort him. Why'd he ask to settle then? I wanted to go to trial, play stupid games, win stupid prizes, enjoy donating to the eventful Woe Is Me GoFundMe account. Punk tweeted in response to a Twitter user. Punk continued. He sued me. He wanted to end the dumb shit he started. I asked to speak to him. He declined. I asked intermediation. He declined. I offered money. It wasn't enough. I never wanted any of it. He's as greedy as you are ignorant to who I am and fooled by who he is. I love the guy. Would have done anything for him. And the irony is, if he just would have asked for the money, I'd have given it to him. Instead, he tried to extort me. Does that sound familiar, folks? This is 2019. September 30th, 2019 is when this article was written. I said 2018. Sorry, I misspoke there. 2019 here. We're going to bounce around a little bit. We're going to bounce around a little bit here and go back. May 2017, Twitter. A fan asked Dave Meltzer if they think an indie show will ever draw 10,000 fans again. Dave Meltzer says, not anytime soon. September 1st, 2018. All In happens with Cody and the Bucks and Ring of Honor producing it. Tony Khan attends the event. There are 10,000 plus people there. I believe this was the event. I didn't have it written down here, but this is the event where Cody won the NWA World title from Nick Aldis. Good show. Tony Khan attends the event, and the idea for AEW is born. 4 months after the event, Cody and the Young Bucks, with several others, leave Ring of Honor. WWE also reportedly offered Cody and the Bucks contracts, but they reject those offers. November 5th, 2018. Tony Khan files several trademarks in Jacksonville, Florida for AEW, a.k.a. that's where the company is headquartered. He files trademarks for All Out, Double or Nothing, Tuesday Night Dynamite, etc. December 26th of 2018, Khan and CM Punk have a conversation. Goes nowhere. January 1st, 2019, it's revealed that via the Young Bucks and Cody Rhodes, along with Tony Khan, they're forming AEW. I also want to go on here that, I'll get here. January 2nd, 2019, Cody and the Young Bucks officially signed with the promotion as competitors as well as serving as AEW's co-executive vice presidents, EVPs. While entrepreneur, football executive, and longtime wrestling fan Tony Khan is announced as the president of the company. Tony and his father, Shad Khan, were reportedly backing the promotion as lead investors. The Khans are billionaires and part of the ownership group of the Jacksonville Jaguars and Fulham FC Football Club. Also around this time, Cody and the Bucks leave New Japan Pro Wrestling. Very, very bitter feelings on New Japan's part, as they are not invited to take part in New Year's Dash after that year's Tokyo Dome show. January 8th, 2019, the company held its inaugural press conference on the forecourt of the TIAA Bank Field, where they announced talents that were going to perform. They announced talents that are going to perform as part of the promotion. This is the press conference where, oh, I'm an EVP. You get to be an EVP? Well, I get to be an EVP. No, everybody's an EVP. Fast forward, February 7th, 2019, there's a press conference for the Double or Nothing ticket sales. Kenny Omega is officially announced as talent and the fourth EVP of the company. May 25th, 2019, Double or Nothing happens. August 30th, 2019, StarCast 3 is held in Chicago, Illinois. Punk does a stage show with PW Insider's Mike Johnson as the host. Rumors are rampant that he will debut at Double or Nothing the following day, but August 31st, 2019 comes around. Double or Nothing is held. No CM Punk. After making multiple appearances for All Elite Wrestling since 2019, it's announced in February of 2020 that Colt Cabana has signed with the promotion. He then aligns himself shortly after with the Dark Order stable. Fast forward to summer of 2021. Rumors of the report that CM Punk start to surface. Now, I do want to back up a little bit here. And this is way back. Let's go back to that conversation that Punk had with Tony Khan originally in December 26th of 2018. Around this time, around Double or Nothing and CM Punk starting to debut and all this, and, CM Punk doing StarCast and all that, rumors surfaced that Punk may be coming in then. Punk is asked about his relationship with AEW, speaking to ESPN's Mark Raymond, or Ramondi, can't pronounce names, I'm not good at pronunciation, when he was promoting the StarCast appearance. Punk goes, I know they like to talk about me a lot. If I text Mac Jackson, hey, have a great show tonight, which I did when they had their big show in Vegas, that somehow turns into Tony Khan telling people that he has a great relationship with me. I've said in the past I've talked to them, but nothing ever came of it. Punk addresses fans having speculation at all out because of his appearance at StarCast. The UFC contracted fighter, because he's still under contract to UFC, was then asked if anything between he and AEW is imminent. Now keep in mind, he's being asked this right around August of 2019. Punk goes, the last thing I got a text message from Cody Rhodes, and again, I almost don't even know how to reply to them sometimes, because if I reply, they do interviews and they're like, oh yeah, I just talked to Punk. Kind of damned if I do and damned if I don't. I always think if somebody wants to do business with me, they could come talk to me. Texting offers isn't really a good way to do business, at least. ESPN then asked him, was it an offer via text? Punk says it was texted through 3 people, an offer come in through text. This is like a month ago, maybe. ESPN asks, is this an offer for All Out? He goes, I think it was just a general offer. I never could have done the last one in Vegas because I was in California for CFFC. So this is right around the time where Punk's relationship with the Bucks and with Cody at the time kind of falls apart because of this comment saying texting offers is not a good way to do business. Kind of calling out Tony Khan, the Young Bucks, and Cody Rhodes here for bad business practices. And I agree with that. You don't send someone an offer through text message or an email. This is just my opinion here. You set up a meeting. Not even a teleconference meeting, not even a Zoom meeting. You set up a straight up meeting. You make sure you're on time for the meeting. You have a proper sit down, as they say. So, where were we? Summer of 2021. Rumors and reports of CM Punk signing with AEW start to surface. This is about a year after the 2019 StarCast 3 interview and him saying, hey, text messaging isn't a real offer. So this is a year later. He's still talking to Tony Khan. Tony Khan is working to repair the relationship. August 20th, 2021, CM Punk debuts for AEW at the Rampage First Dance show. March 2nd, 2022, Tony Khan buys Ring of Honor. That's when it's announced. April 1st, 2022, Colt Cabana is back in Ring of Honor at Supercard of Honor 2022, appearing on the pre-show. Now, let me get this straight here. Guys. Colt Cabana, between CM Punk signing, August 20th, and April 1st, 2022, Colt Cabana is still appearing with the Dark Order backstage. I know he is. There's multiple segments with the Dark Order backstage where Colt Cabana is just hanging his ass out in the background. So you can't tell me that it was CM Punk that got moved, that got Colt Cabana moved to Ring of Honor. I believe CM Punk when he says, I don't care where the guy works. I just don't want nothing to do with him. May 25th, 2022, the Punk versus Adam Page workers' rights promo happens as they build up to Double or Nothing. Page goes into business for himself. After Double or Nothing, at Double or Nothing, Punk wins the title. He's injured afterwards. I believe it was the Wednesday afterwards, doing a stage dive into the crowd. Injures his foot and disappears for 3 months. Jon Moxley then fights Tanahashi at the sorry, I don't have this written down. Moxley then fights Hiroshi Tanahashi at Forbidden Door, and the next month becomes interim AEW champion. Sometime in July of 2022, Colt Cabana's contract is coming up. Khan is reportedly not going to re-sign him, but then at the convincing of Adam Page and other AEW talent, he renews the contract and signs him to the Ring of Honor brand. From this point forward, he is not appearing. He has never appeared with the Dark Order again. July 23rd, 2022, Raw Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor happens in Lowell, Massachusetts. Colt Cabana wrestles on the 0-hour pre-show again. And in my opinion, go back and watch that pre-show. Colt Cabana does not look like a happy guy. August 17th, 2022, here we go. Punk returns from injury. Cuts a promo calling out Adam Page. Page doesn't come out. Punk calls it, it's not cowboy shit, it's coward shit. He's going into business for himself, giving Page a receipt. Adam Page does not come out. Adam Page is not on this episode. September 4th, 2022. Here we go, guys. Double or Nothing happens. Punk wins the world title from Jon Moxley. Has a media scrum afterwards where he addresses the entire Colt Cabana situation. And once again, recalls this article. I'm going to recall this article again from Bleacher Report that was written September 30th, 2019. 2019. 3 years before all this bullshit happens. And Punk says the exact same thing as he said in the media scrum. I asked to speak to him. He declined. I asked to go mediation. He declined. I offered money. It wasn't enough. It's not old news. This is not new, brand new shit that Punk is spitting. It's the same stuff. Mike Johnson, a PW insider, by the way, reported that lawsuit between the two, no financial settlement to the lawsuits. The case was dismissed with prejudice, meaning both sides agreed not to file another lawsuit. Cabana at the time was seeking $200,000 in unpaid legal fees, along with another $1 million in damages. Punk seeking $600,000, or half of what he paid to attorneys on Colt Cabana's behalf as a part of Amon's lawsuit, which Punk and Cabana won. So let's go back to the media scrum. He calls out the EVPs. He calls out Hangman Page. After the media scrum, Punk goes back to his locker room. Bucks and Omega walk in to confront him, and a melee ensued. We're talking about Matt Jax getting a black eye, chairs being thrown, Ace Steel biting and pulling the hair of Kenny Omega. And now here today, September 6th, 2022. And this is where we are now. Tony Khan has some decisions to make. Do I think we'll be seeing the Young Bucks or Kenny Omega or CM Punk tomorrow on Dynamite? No. Not at all. Eric Bischoff has come out, said that he's done a horseshit job. He did a horseshit job of handling this very type of thing in WCW, but he's not going to give anybody advice. He said, if this was totally real life and nobody's working here, fire CM Punk like 2 minutes late after he got done. Bully Ray, going on Busted Open Radio, says, you defeated Jon Moxley, you stared down MJF, the first thing you want to talk about is the dirt sheets. I will admit it, Punk probably should have never brought this up. But he did. And then the Bucks go into his locker room to confront him, and Punk starts throwing hands. To me, well, we'll have to see what happens. I have a lot of talk on what should happen on this. I think you suspend all of them for about a month, and you have a sit down with all parties involved and try to get this smoothed out. But that's your timeline. All the way from Punk quitting WWE to this. Spans from all the way from 2014. We're talking almost 16 years? 18 years? 18 years. This has been going on with Punk. I'm going to be going, I don't know if it's going to be live or not, but I will be doing a podcast with Jeff Edwards tomorrow. We're going to talk about Dynamite. He's doing an episode of Cool Truth with AC and White House right now. I believe they're recording this evening. Check that out at Retromania Podcast Network or Retromania Roundtable Podcasting Network. It's WRETRO Mania Network. Go check it out. Thank you, everybody, for watching and listening. And, man, that's a lot of time for Punk. We'll see you down the road.